Welcome back everyone. The iPad mini 4 is one of those iPads that Apple released many years ago that essentially hung them over for a very long time. Apple didn't refresh this iPad for many years until 2019, and then they just refreshed it again with the iPad mini 6. And what I can tell you is with this specific iPad, I don't really think it's worth it anymore. I probably would recommend to nobody to pick it up, but if you still have it, I would say keep it. Like, I still currently own it. I don't really do much with it, but I think it still has some capability. If you ever want to use it as like a monitor for like watching videos, if you just want to do some basic internet browsing, this is not a bad option. But of course, this thing is probably on its last leg when it comes down to software, but I'm still surprised this thing lasted as long as it did. This thing kind of has the same chipset as the iPhone 6, and that thing stopped getting support many years ago, but Apple kept supporting this thing, which didn't make any sense. And we did get iPadOS 15 for this iPad as well, and I did install it, and it's definitely not a smooth experience. The beta really wasn't that great, but also the official version now also hasn't been amazing, but it's definitely going to get better throughout time, so that's a big thing to keep in mind. On top of that, I think the build quality is something that's just so perplexing to me, because the software and the internals are fairly outdated, but the body still feels very premium. And when you look at this and you look at something like the iPad 9th generation that Apple just released, there's a lot of similarities there. So I would definitely tell you, body-wise, it feels pretty good. It still feels really good. It's still getting software support as of now, but it's not a great performing machine like I mentioned before, and I would probably recommend staying away from this thing just because of the lack of software updates very soon. But I will tell you, because this thing is still supported, there are a ton of applications that are still out for this thing, and I will tell you, if you're somebody who just wants to go ahead and use something for basic internet browsing, if you're somebody who just wants to, download some basic games, as long as you're not trying to do anything super intensive and you're not trying to utilize a bunch of RAM in the background, you're probably going to be okay, and it's really not going to be that big of an issue. But like I mentioned, if you're somebody who wants to take it up a notch and you're somebody who wants to just, get a ton of capability and you think an iPad mini 4 can do it, I really don't think that's the smartest thing to do. I don't think the iPad mini 4 can handle everything you're going to throw at it at that point. So that's where I stand in that standpoint. But also the battery life has actually gone down quite a bit as well. And this is another somewhat disadvantage with an iPad mini 4. Yes, it still kind of looks like an iPad mini 5 that's still supported, but it's just not that great anymore. And I think that has a lot to do with the AA chip, as well as probably the software of it. I mean, this thing is very, laggy on iPadOS 15. And I do think the iPadOS 15 update was a lot better than the iPad mini 4, to be honest. Or on the iPad mini 4. So ultimately what I will tell you is that if you currently are planning on buying an iPad mini 4, I would probably recommend staying away from it. I would highly recommend picking up an iPad mini 5 instead. That's definitely going to be the better option. I still think the iPad mini 4 has some capability, but I would highly recommend picking up the mini 5, or better yet, the iPad mini 6 instead. So that pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.